So the next NFTs are night and rank NFTs. As I've said, there are a number of ranks within the guild that will be denoting a level of effort and management within the guild. Each rank will get issued their own NFTs so they can claim their additional incentive for their level of effort. So the proposed rank NFTs are the Round Table, the Knight Generals, the Knight Commanders, the Knight and the Player. So that NFT, we've got to work on the artwork and all of that. This will also be the mechanism where our players claim their rewards on the relevant asset groups. And in some of our voting, that NFT will have voting power. The information we will need to capture in the metadata for each NFT and rank NFT and player NFT is a unique number for the Knight. We want to give the option where you can input multiple wallet addresses. So you can, if you move, we've all got cold wallets and hard wallets. So you can claim from whatever wallet addresses are in that metadata. It will have the guild rank in there, and it will also need to have your Cornucopias game player profile unique number. Every player in that game will have their own unique number, and we need that to generate the information and the data from the API to calculate performance. So that is the guild rank NFT. The Knight player NFT is pretty similar, it's just not got the rank in there. So again, the unique Knight number, 2 wallet addresses, and your unique player number. Any questions on those, Josh? I'm looking forward to the artwork on these, by the way. I'm really excited about what these NFTs will look like.
Yeah, me too. So I got a question on both the Knight NFT and the Complete Knight. With the 2 wallet thing, is that you'll be able to choose your rewards are deposited into one wallet or the other, or you'll be able to customize like what proportion goes into which wallet?
So remember, it's a claimable reward. We're not distributing, we're not dropping rewards. So when you go and log into our interface, and this is all being developed with Anvil, if you connect with a wallet, it will look up what rewards you're due and you can claim those rewards. The reason we've got 2 wallets in there is you can connect. We might have 3, I don't know. It's just, we just don't want to limit it to 1 wallet because sometimes people lose wallets and keys and all of that. So yeah, that wallet address is when you go and log into the claim site, it'll look at your Knight ID, it'll look at your player ID, it will see what NFTs you've got verified in your wallets, and you can claim that reward. There's a whole lot of calculations that will need to happen, but we want to make it as straightforward as possible. And was there another question, sorry?
No, I think that does it.
Cool, okay. So asset staking NFTs, to allow the players and investors to stake their land and their assets with the guild, we will develop a asset staking NFT. This will detail what has been staked and what other important information, but also allow the owner of those assets to claim the rewards from the framework. So this would be structured on a smart contract that would have which would be specific to each NFT issued to identify the assets staked. So the highlighted area below is an example of where asset staking NFTs would pull rewards from. So going back to the land assets, high worth stakers and me and you who are going to stake our land with a guild, we would get issued an asset staker NFT. It would capture what land we've staked, and that NFT would then be used to claim from those reward pots. Make sense? Cool. Right, so the other NFTs are really cool, great fun. These are our artwork, any charity partnerships, competitions, and other partnerships. We've got a competition live at the moment, which is a Christmas tree competition. The best dressed Christmas tree, we will issue some NFTs on that. So these are uncontrolled NFTs, kind of. These do not have any influence on the reward structure or the reward frameworks. Okay, any questions, or should we go on to governance?
Let's go ahead and move on.
Cool, right, so guild governance. So as I touched on earlier, the general management of the guild at the moment is to do the right thing. And that will fall under the leadership of the guild, including the round table, the the generals and the commanders. We all know each other pretty well. We've all got, and this document is now giving us that vision which we can hang a lot of our decisions on. And we need that agility to move fast. If we put everything to vote at the moment, we wouldn't have got to a starting line. So we are making leadership decisions amongst that group. As the guild develops, the guild leadership will be issued with rank NFTs, and that will be used to manage voting. Okay, so we do want to move forward to a much more voting structure. Voting. There is a requirement for different forms of votes within the guild. Voting for the guild will be controlled by issued NFTs to the asset owners, to the players, and to the guild leadership. Asset group voting. Each NFT asset group will have independent voting to ensure the asset owners have a fair say in how the asset group is developed. Examples of what will be voted on: the reward framework and the structure and the configuration of that, the treasury distribution and spend, and the asset management of that group. In most cases, the vote will be weighted as per the below. In some cases, the guild leadership will have increased voting power. It is a responsibility of the guild leadership to maintain the overarching strategy and values of the guild. So, each asset holder NFT will have one vote. The guild leadership will have 25% of that vote. Leadership voting. The round table, knight generals and knight commanders will have a responsibility to maintain the guild's vision and values. On relevant votes, a round table vote will account for 25% of all total votes. In some cases, this may be increased or reduced. There will be voting specific to strategic decisions within the leadership of the guild. This will be a closed vote. Each member of a round table, knight generals and knight commanders, all have equal voting power. If a round table vote is equal or undecided, this will go to the knight generals for the deciding vote. Okay?
On the leadership voting, is it, when it says that the guild gets 25% voting power, and that's likely conceptual as well, I assume, does that mean that whatever single decision the guild decides in their collective adjudication is the vote that they will be going towards, or can inter-guild leadership voting take place? If half wants to vote one way, and then 25% wants to vote another way, and then maybe 25% are undecided, would the voting power be split in that case,
No.
or is it one vote? Okay.
We would, like any vote, we would have to put the criteria up front, especially in the leadership voting. I would very much hope that between the round table and knight generals and the knight commanders, we would pretty much be saying, we would have a really good idea on what the right solution is, or the majority of the people would, because we are driving the guild. We've got the vision, we've got the leadership, we've got our ethics, we've got our code. So I think we will always typically make the right result, or vote for the right result for the guild. Yeah, and that's why we've got the leadership voting structure there. So if there is any levels of, we would always have the criteria set up front on what we're voting for, and then when we've agreed as a leadership team, we would then contribute 25% of that vote as per that decision.
Gotcha.
From what I can see, I think pretty much we would always come to a general consensus in the leadership between the round table, the knights, and the commanders and the generals.
even if not, I think that we each, as guild leadership, we represent the guild as a single unified entity,
Yeah.
and I think that it makes sense for that entity to be voting in whichever way we democratically agree on. And I assume that each of us, as leadership people, will also have our own individual night NFTs, so
Yep.
those votes wouldn't be absent from the pool either. So
Absolutely.
that makes sense.
And do you know what? There might be some cases where, as a guild leader, you vote differently with your personal NFT and what you agree is the right thing to do for guild, and that, you know, that's why we've got those additional incentives. This is a serious job we're doing, and we need to always have those visions and the values of the guild. No doubt there'll be some discussions and debates and babies out the bathwater, but we need to do the right thing. And that 25%, I think that's reasonable. But again, we can adjust that if there's something really important. I mean, the example I always use is Britain leaving the euro. Why would you, going into a vote like that based on majority is bonkers. You know, the worst case you're going to have is you're going to hack off 49% of the country. You know, and that's why I think we need to have that leverage in voting to do that. But that's the concept of how we would do it. I'm not going to go into much detail, but the wallet structure will be reflective of the asset structures and the asset groups for claims, etc., and royalties. So this is our conceptual wallet structure. All of our wallets are multi-sigs, and it's all we need to add into here actually who the multi-sig holders are. So yeah, that's just some visibility on our wallet structure. I've touched on all of these roles before, but our structure is a round table: the Knight Generals, the Knight Commanders, the Knights, Citizens, and the Board. So that's the structure of our guild. Resource and asset management and player and knight management are both in development. These are going to be, these two sections here will probably double the length of this white paper, or they will come out of a white paper and actually become strategy documents themselves. This is the bread and butter of our guild. We need to manage our resource and assets properly, and we need to set the direction and lead the people and the knights to actually manage those assets. So this is in development. I think a lot of us are excited about where this is going to go. Law, we are developing, we are going to be onboarding a law writer to write some fantastic law. Also the artwork, we've got some great artwork, but we want to get into a better long-term commitment with our artists. Here's our social media, a bit of a leak on our website address, knightsguild.io, and I need to update Discord. The reward, right, so now coming on to a technology. As I touched on, we have got, this is a tech project, and we are in quite mature conversations with our future tech partner, but I'll just quickly spin through these. So the rewards platform, this is fundamental to enable our guild. I've talked a lot about this, but the list of the requirements here are what we're discussing with Anvil. So that is a key part of our tech. We do need to develop an internal marketplace. This is for the internal trading of assets between players and asset groups. So our domes will need assets from our landowners. So we will need to be able to transfer wood, metal, fish to our dome. So we need to have a level of internal trading. And also loaning assets between asset groups. So this will all be discussed. We will have a Knight Commander or a Knight General in each of those asset groups who will be taking proposals to and from other asset groups. So we've got this, but this all needs to be controlled and audited. So we will need to develop an internal trading element. The voting platform I touched on. We've already got, Anvil have already got a platform that is pretty much what we need, but we need it to be a bit more configurable than what they've got. So that will require some development. The API, so this is the software that will sniff all of the in-game data and give us a lot of powerful information, not just to reward players on their level of effort, but it will give us a lot of information on our strategies, on any decisions we make, on changing of direction, but also that can start driving internal guild leagues and stuff like that. So that is a really important tool we need to be developed. In-game add-ons and plugins. I think there's a bit of a market here. Again, if we look at games in existence like World of Warcraft, etc., there's a lot of community developed plugins and add-ons which make the player experience better. We will need to develop some of these, so we've got we've got the tools to actually allow our players to perform better. How we do that, we don't know, whether it's going to be an outsource or a partnership, or we're going to build the capability in the guild. We have an aspiration to run nodes, but that's very much in progress. We have aspirations at some point in time to develop a stake pool, so people can stake ADA with the Knights Guild. The Knights Wiki is where our lore and a lot of our information, predominantly our lore, will be on the Knights Wiki. That's in development. We do want to develop a lending platform. This will probably be a partnership. Why we need a lending platform is, as I've mentioned many times, if somebody wants to unstake their land from the guild, it's probably because they need to liquidate, they need cash. So I would rather the guild provide lending and finance options rather than having instability in our land asset base. So we will be working with a lending platform where we can actually provide really reasonable rates to people who need to liquidate assets. I think that's that. We've got the team here. I think we all on the call know this. We've got the round table, the Knight Generals, the Knight Commanders, and then we've got our fabulous recruiters who are constantly in the Cornucopias Discord channel. Utmost professionalism from those guys. Thank you. And then we're coming on to the end of it. So the Knights token. We have done some significant brainstorming and optioneering around a Knights token. We're in a really good place with the concept of the token. But we're not going to be issuing any information on this until it's mature enough. But we do have a intent at some point in the future to have a Knights token. That's all I can pretty much say at the moment. Josh, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I might like to point out that a lot of projects, when they issue a token, it's very central to their ecosystem. With the Knights Guild, it's not. We can totally operate without a token being issued. It's just something that we're interested in doing for purposes that we may reveal in the future.
Yeah, no, good chat. Yeah, we're comfortable that through our NFTs we've got enough incentive and enough structure to build the guild, and we've always committed we're not going to have a vanity token. That we haven't got enough time to do a vanity project, but we have got some really good utility that we can develop. But more to come on that. Potential partners, excuse me, the Blockchain Gaming Alliance. I've said the word Anvil a number of times as a tech partner. I definitely hope to have an MOU at the point of issue of this video. A lending platform partner. We're looking for guild partnerships, not just in Cornucopias, but we're looking more out into other blockchain games and traditional gaming guilds. That hasn't started yet, but it will be on our recruitment roadmap. And potential partnership for add-ons and plug-in developers, because that's a specific skill and you don't need any blockchain tech for that. That just sits on top of your interface and uses our API to sniff. So the Cornucopias Guilds Alliance, I think I've done a video on this in the past, but this is a really good alliance with all of the established guilds in Cornucopias. We need to have a representation and a voice that can influence the game. and you can see the key principles of the alliance to create a relevant alliance and guild strategies to provide and aid the vision of the game in order to thrive and collaborate towards mutual success. Ensure all guilds operate in a fair, inclusive and ethical manner to set the standards of behaviour and the culture of the current and future guilds and their communities through the guild's charter. Develop governance and processes where required. Create flexible teaming agreements and perform due diligence when and where required and requested. Create a culture of alliance knowledge sharing and to provide a foundation for the long-standing community and supporters to compete with existing metaverse guilds to compete. So that last point is really important. When we first established the Cornucopias Guilds Alliance, it was the Knights and the Mafia. At the time, we were the only two established guilds. We are very aware that Cornucopias is getting to the mainstream now, and a lot of people from other blockchains, a lot of gaming guilds from other blockchain communities are starting to get interested in Cornucopias. We need to be able to provide and maintain stability for the community now, and compete with any drag and drop guilds from other games. So that's a really important part of the Cornucopias Guilds Alliance. This also has us a strong relationship with the game, so that's a powerful thing. And as I touched on earlier, we've got 3 roadmaps in development: the Complete Night Series roadmap, the recruitment roadmap, and the technology roadmap. They will be in the issue version of this document when it is issued. So, my friends, that has been quite a long video, which I will need to edit quite beautifully. Josh, any closing comments or questions? And also from the chat, there's been some good questions in the chat.
Absolutely. Yeah, now it looks like there might be some incoming questions, but I want anybody watching this video to know that as you read through the white paper, and we will agree with you, there's a lot of ambition here that is reaching for a lot that any blockchain project might do. We absolutely have the capability to accomplish these things. That's why I joined the Knights Guild in the first place. They have targeted people with skills. They have targeted people that can contribute in ways that us as individuals might not have been able to. If we can't do it or build it ourselves, we've got tech partners that can. And I assure you that what is outlined in this white paper is achievable, and it's just the beginning. This is where we've started and what we want to kick off with. There's much more in store for the future.
Yeah, really, really good point. And the tech we need to develop, as you said, Josh, the conversations we're having with our future tech partner who are already, Benjamin is part of our guild leadership. So we're talking to Anvil, which is part of the Benjamin group. So they're already heavily invested emotionally in the guild anyway. When I ran through all of the requirements with one of our project leaders, they were more than comfortable with our requirements. So it is exciting. They've got stuff in place that is almost meeting our requirements. We will need some specific development, but I'm really keen to get an MOU with Anvil so we can actually start moving forward on that. So yeah, really, really good point. This is feasible and it's happening and it's moving fast. Well, look, we've been quite a while in here, and I'm really grateful for everyone who's listened. And Josh, as always, your insight and questions always get me thinking. And we've also picked up a few errors in the white paper, which is always good. But I'm hoping to edit those out. But thank you so much for your time, Josh, and the team in the chat as well. I hope you all got a lot out of this, and I really look forward to this video going live on our new website, and it's going to be exciting times coming ahead. So thank you all very much, and thank you, Josh, for your time. And sorry I keep looking over there because my OBS is on that screen and the whole world is on this screen, so Sorry about that. I'm not a professional content creator like your good self, but thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely. No, this has been a blast, and looking forward to everything.
Brilliant. Have a nice evening, everyone. Thank you.
All right.